Hello and welcome to the Medic's Commentary. Doses of gameplay with an injection of thoughts, critique, and advice. My name is BlueGhost75. Getting ready to drop down. This is just...
It's out there, and it knows we're coming.
There we go. So I got Hank, Maggie, and Markov, I think that guy's name is, playing Lazarus. Based on what I've experienced so far, Lazarus is my favorite character, let alone Medic. Val has... How do I explain? Well, to explain who Lazarus is, he's got a sniper rifle that is more rapid fire than Val's sniper rifle is. He doesn't have a med gun, but he can revive either fallen enemies, that I've learned, or dead enemies. So if someone dies, you can use your device to bring them back to life in an instant. And you have a cloak, which you can use to stay out of trouble. And you do have a healing burst that you can use to give your allies a little bit of healing while they're still standing anyway. But when you use the healing burst, Lazarus is always talking about, you might as well just be dead. He wants to use his device out so much. He just wants to experiment with dead things. But he seems to have a bit of humanity as well. There's an exchange and dialogue at a point. When that comes up, I'll shut up about it. But I find that Lazarus is better off not being in direct combat. He's better to be the sniper, if anything. Just stay out of the way. Pelt the monster full of bullet holes. And yes, the characters can get buffs. When you're starting a match, you can pick what perk you want. You can pick jetpack cooldowns, or jump height, or weapon switch. I find that jetpack reduction, you can use your jetpack more often, it charges faster, seems to be best for dodging the monster for Medic anyway. Jumping has its uses for if you're trying to jump up and spot the monster, or just because the monster can catch you in midair. So there's a thing about that. And when you see the red icon, that's the guy right there. When my pings go red, that means I see the monster. So I thought I'd get high ground where I have a scope and try to find the monster. I saw Daisy's icon turn red, so she had his scent and he was nearby, and just trying to pelt him down. So yeah, Lazarus has that benefit of being able to kind of expose the monster, but not in the same way as Val, where Val can tranquilize the monster and show his silhouette wherever he is. Lazarus can't really do that. He can keep an eye on him by staying cloaked, but he has to stay out of the way. He can wait till after a fight if he wants to, and then get to where his teammates are. I tend to, I don't know, maybe that parental instinct. I try to get to a teammate as soon as they're taking damage. But you really don't have to until they're dead even. You can wait till they die if you want to. You don't have to try to rush in and try to take out the monster. Because usually when someone has fallen, the monster is usually standing over them and make sure that no one's able to revive them. So you can revive them when they're fallen if you want, or you can just wait till they're dead. So it's entirely up to you, and I don't believe there's any penalties for that. And where I got the debuff, where I got faster cooldowns for my healing ability, special class cooldowns, it can work out quite well with that. It's just working out. Just trying to find a monster right now. Just sometimes I choose to go around, make my own path and try to find a monster myself, like I did earlier. Sometimes I'll just stay behind my teammates, and just in case they start taking damage, then I'll get out of the way or anything like that. I don't want to run into a situation where I'm by myself and the monster has found me. So the trapper, who I think they were playing as, yeah, it was Maggie. And notice how I couldn't shoot inside the bubble. You can walk into it or anything, but once you walk in, you cannot walk out. I've tried walking out, you can't do it. So you have to be careful if you choose to do that. But in order for me to be of any use to the team, I had to get inside and help out my team. And where my support took a little bit of damage, figured I'd give him a little boost, and the monster just comes right back, just starts ripping everybody apart. So I'm just trying to apply what I've learned, what I feel is useful, but with the monster's armor destroyed, just matter of just trying to whittle down his health as much as possible. But trying to use what I think is useful, just trying to stay out of the direct fight, just stay a good distance where I use my cloak, but where there's not a whole lot I can do. I am taking a little fire damage. Just try to jump in And yes, there are things out in the world that are trying to kill you. And yeah, I'm not sure what's better. I think it's better just to use the Lazarus device, because I think if you pull someone up manually, like without a device, they get less maximum health. So I think it's better to use your devices, like use your medic gun if you're Val, or use your device if you're Lazarus. That's what it seems to be. I'm learning to use that more often. I think, because I'm not entirely sure, because right here, that ended up being more faster, didn't it? Just where I have to run around, just try to stay away from the monster if at all possible. And got a little lucky here, just where everybody kind of fell into the bushes, so the monster can't see me all that well. However, the monster can smell, so even if you're cloaked, the monster can know where you are. If they pick up your scent, you'll be able to see where you're walking around. Just the same way with how you can trank someone as Val. But again, just where I'll try to revive someone and then try to get the hell out of there as soon as I can, because the monster knows that I'm running around and healing everybody. So I have to be careful if I'm going to choose to revive someone either fallen, try to get out of there as soon as possible so that I end up not being fallen myself, just taking that risk. And where Daisy died here, must get killed by the monster. I didn't see any monsters around here anywhere, like any neutral monsters. But just like that, just no penalty it seems, and Daisy's back out tracking the monster. So I ended up this way. I figured I'd just try to walk around this way. But you can see the game's quite... It has a lively atmosphere. I think the game story is the place got evacuated, so there's no other humans around. You may not find them. It would be interesting if you found, like, a stray person, like someone who got lost or anything like that. Be kind of neat, like their foot got caught in a trap and something like that. Just something... It wouldn't really matter, but just like a little Easter egg kind of thing, if there actually was somebody out here. I think that'd be pretty cool anyway. However, so just in case I do find a monster, I can just cloak myself and stay out of the way, and no one's able to see where I am unless they pick up my scent. So it's kind of a hostile environment. The monsters can attack you. You have to be careful about killing them though, because their corpses can be eaten if the monster comes back. Where that icon above that monster's head, that means that they're an albino. So if you're able to kill them, you can pick up a buff from them. Just where I decided to keep following my teammates. I didn't want them to backtrack where they got they're starting to pick up on the monster. So I figured it's not mandatory right now. Kind of wanted to, but I don't think the sniper rifle does a great deal of damage. It just allows more damage to be done to a monster if my allies can hit where I've shot the monster. We're coming into the point here, and our support was able to land a lot of damage on the monster here. There's 3 different kinds in the beta right now. This one's the Goliath, the basic one. I find this one's the easiest to go up against, but in the hands of a pretty good monster player, it's pretty crazy because they're able to use stealth quite well. There's another one based on Cthulhu called Kraken. That one's pretty... that one's very challenging, but I find I do better against the Kraken as Lazarus because I can bring back the dead. No problem. But just like that, we were able to keep hunting down the monster, and we were able to get it eventually. So Lazarus, I think I like him more, where, I don't know, I feel like I can relate to him more. It just feels like the loner type guy. Wants to experiment with things, kind of sciencey, but he wants to be a doctor as well. But he has to be with people at the same time. So if you're... I think he will work well for solo players. You don't have to stay in too close to your teammates. Although, you do have an item that allows you to be by yourself a little bit more, and then go in either just after the fight when someone has fallen, or really after the fight when someone died. So not really much of a penalty where Val has to stay in a fight and heal people while trying to avoid taking damage from the monster as well. So there is that. So in order to progress, I have to heal people, to revive people while I'm cloaked. I don't really see the point of trying to go for that. If it happens, it happens, but I'm not going to grind or anything like that. Interesting little thing, but I don't want to go out of my way for that. So, yeah, that was Lazarus. On this map here, they kind of all feel the same, but they do have, it does change, like the weather changes, the environment changes, the maps change, monsters change. So, that's all for now. Thanks very much for watching.